Every time you drive around the city, anywhere in the world, all the SUVs look like clones. They're all similar, smooth lines, huge screens and promises of cheap luxury, but one has barely changed for years and doesn't follow those trends. It's a car that was born for snowy roads, for muddy roads, for dirt, for rocks, for dust, whatever. And this is a car that if you're the owner and you know a storm is coming, you won't worry. The 2026 Subaru Forester may not be the prettiest or fastest, but it still has character unlike the others. Now's the perfect time to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. That helps me so much. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Here you won't find a V6 with a massive rigid frame, a giant battery, none of that. This is a car that's not part of Silicon Valley. What you'll find here is probably the best Japanese engineering from what they call the old school, a low boxer engine, all-wheel drive, and the promise that no matter what happens, you'll get there. Today we're going to test this Subaru Forester, mainly to find out if it's still worth calling it a Subaru. The air intake below has shutters, above it doesn't. The front is distinctly Subaru, featuring the large logo, projector LED headlights and fog light. The rest, this isn't functional, it's a design we have here on the side which aren't functional air intakes. And this car isn't very aerodynamic, it just prefers a tough look for its lifestyle. A life where you never get stuck, driving an SUV that handles any terrain with ease. Front camera. And this, the years go by and it stayed pretty much the same from year to year. All Foresters share the same heart. 2.5L, 182 HP, 247 torque. This car has a continuously variable transmission, but it's a reliable Subaru continuously variable transmission, not a problematic one. If you maintain a continuously variable transmission every 6 months and check everything, nothing will ever go wrong with it. That's why Subaru has trusted and used its refined continuously variable transmission for years. Driving this car isn't boring at all. Did they master the continuously variable transmission, as I say? And the other crown jewel is the symmetrical all-wheel drive we have here, all-wheel drive on all four wheels. Is Subaru really that famous just for this? That's the trump card that sets the Forester apart from the competition. Ventilated disc brakes in the front, solid ones in the back, and here we have the air intake, which is fully functional. This side of Subaru is also super famous because it hasn't changed much over time, Farrell. We have roof rails, black pillars, keyless entry, and a light sensor, which is another black non-shiny part at the bottom, an important detail. All-wheel independent suspension and 8.7-inch ground clearance, since height matters. If you live in a rural area, I'm not going to tell you to go off-roading in the mountains, not if you live in a rural area. This car is wonderfully usable, the doors are quite solid, keyless entry, of course the car feels really good. Let's check out the space we have in the back seat, because even though it's a mid-size SUV, we have some cargo space here. The rear seats fold 60-40, and when raised, all plastics remain since the car is brand new and ready for sale. I think at 3 in the afternoon, it's 1 o'clock now. They'll take it in 2 hours because here they come in and go out that fast. We have pockets on both sides, speakers in the door, and the roof only comes up to here. You'll see it when I drive so you can get a good look. There's plenty of space. My knees don't touch anything. Materials are consistent front and back. There's a USB-C, a regular USB, and separate air vents. Here also. I have 20 kilometers available just to drive this car because it's a new car that's for sale. They said I can't post any photos and that I don't follow the rules. They only gave it to me with 20 kilometers worth of gas to make sure I wouldn't take it out somewhere far. But inside it depends on which version you buy. The base version comes with standard fabric, dual 7-inch screens with 4 speakers. If you move up to the L, you get an 11.6-inch screen with 6 speakers, and it keeps improving as you go up. The Premium has 10 and even a wireless charger. Here I have a wireless charger, okay? And the S is another level. Brown and black leather, which is what I have here with me. The S has a steering wheel with stitching, a gear lever wrapped in leather, Harman Kardon audio system with 10 speakers. It has speakers, subwoofer, seat memory. Okay. We have facial recognition, so the car knows who's sitting here. I like the visibility. The sunroof opens and slides all the way back. Its size allows a lot of light to come into the car. Everything comes with a climate control system called Visana. It has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay Wireless L and S, USB-A and USB-C ports, front and back, reverse cameras, the reverse camera. But I'll tell you the truth, I like this view. This view feels a bit rounded to me, but I have some reverse cameras that I am installing in cars now that are spectacular. All this equipment is optional. Equip it however you want. Subaru really boasts about its system, which is called EyeSight, which includes collision braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, and emergency stop assist. Higher trims include a 360 camera, automatic reverse braking, driver monitor, and electrochromic mirror, fully loaded with safety features. Besides, they're not doing exaggerated marketing about what they have. They have these features because they've had them for a long time. Our fuel consumption is reasonable. The engine has power but isn't very large, which is good. 2628 mpg, 910L, 100 km. It depends on what part of the world you're in and which measurement system you're using. It's a pretty reasonable middle ground, okay? It's often compared to what a recreational activity vehicle, Ford hybrid uses. So who is it competing with? Speaking of the recreational activity vehicle, Ford. It rivals the recreational activity vehicle for Honda CR-V and Mazda CX-5, but none offer standard symmetrical all-wheel drive or its unique character. Subaru for life. It's a winning card for people who like to buy Subaru. It does very well there because the press in general really likes it, and everyone I know who does this, everyone likes Subaru. Do they feel it's a very solid SUV? Besides, buyers keep it for years and years without changing it. They keep it for a long time. Okay, because I say this is one of those few SUVs that still reminds you what it was made for. What was its real purpose? And if we talk about going on the road to extreme climates, what about that? It depends on where you go in the world. You'll always find it in the most extreme places. The steering wheel movement is mechanical. I have paddles behind it and an analog central cluster, which I prefer. Digital clusters make everything feel the same. Analog. I love it mainly because it reminds me of watches. Like the visibility is great, everything feels right, so I'm a fan of analog things. This equipment we have here in the center, almost everything in the car is controlled here. The air conditioning, the radio volume, the apps, everything is connected and controlled from here. From here the air vents are vertical, two are horizontal, and the finishes here are quite nice. I'll place it on the steering wheel. I have smart and sport modes. I put it in sport mode, remembering I only have 20 kilometers left, but accelerating in sport mode feels great. It reacts quickly, which I like. Also, something on the left hand, here I can connect Bluetooth, control the volume, and access the information that appears on the central cluster. I can do all that from here, and on the right hand, I already have the adaptive cruise control. Everything else, the wireless chargers down here at the bottom, cup holders. Here are cup holders in the doors, and inside here it's good. The space is great, even though it's not a big SUV. And I really like the car's acceleration. It takes curves really well. It grips, it accelerates. You feel like you're in a car that responds, but I'm a huge fan of this car. Wow. I really like the colors, the combinations. The materials don't feel like cheap plastic or weird plastic. They feel pretty good because it's a foam injection we have here. When you touch it, it sinks in a little, which means it's not a hard plastic. It's actually pretty good. Even up here, the doors and color combination are top notch. The car is black on the outside, but I wouldn't buy it in black because, you know, black, it's one of the cars that contributes the most to global warming, according to a new study by the British. I'll make a video about black cars. I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard black cars, since they're metal, contribute to global warming. It sounded strange to me. What do you think? Heard anything? Do you have any thoughts? I think it's nonsense, but we have to consider it since it's being discussed. Okay, I'm going to close the panoramic roof because the sun is coming in strong in here and there are handles on the sides. When driving this car fast off-road, you really need to keep that in mind. The driver's seat controls are electronic and the seat is quite comfortable. It has a bit of lateral support at the bottom. Although this seat lacks lumbar support, which I prefer, it still feels comfortable and doesn't bother me. The stitching matches the color of the material at the bottom of the seats. Here are the USB connectors and the wireless charger. There's no camera in the rear view mirror, and I'm already used to having one in many cars. But those are optional features that will be added gradually. Remember, I said this car doesn't look like any other SUV on the road, since they're all the same. That's the main difference between this and any other car on the road. So it's super. Look at the camera, there it is, okay? And we have the X mode, which is for snow and dirt. For normal and deep mud, we have all the options here and I can change them. I'll keep it in normal since I'm not in deep mud, but everything is selected here. Back here we have good space. Also, 2 buttons let the rear seats fold and recline automatically with one touch, creating a large cargo space. Here in the back, there are people who say this is the most reliable car there is. Keep that in mind. Down here we have the spare tire that comes with its jack. That's very important. Okay, I like the spare tire because it's trendy not to have a spare tire, and I prefer having one. To close, so we have the touch of a button on the back. Well, windshield wiper. There isn't much space to hide it here because this is right outside on the spoiler wheel. Shark fin. The large Forester logo, subtly placed as if forged, looks great. Subaru. And on this side, Sharta, what we have are the lights that go into the side. We only have a single exhaust outlet here in the back. So the Forester isn't the loudest one on the market, but it is the most reliable, and that's worth gold. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. See you next time.